What's going on, guys? Derek here with Automatic Door and Hardware. In today's video, we're going to cover some basic troubleshooting procedures for the Horton C2150 control system used on Horton automatic sliding doors. These troubleshooting methods apply to both linear drive and belt drive Horton operators and can help you diagnose some of the most common automatic door failures in the field. Let's start with encoder diagnostics. To enter the encoder test mode, press and hold the down and reset buttons at the same time. Release the reset button, but continue holding the down button until the display changes and you see ET on the screen. ET stands for encoder test. You'll also notice two lines displayed on the screen. Those lines represent the encoder signal being received by the controller. Now manually slide the automatic door open and closed. As you move the door, the lines should rotate in a circular pattern. This indicates the encoder is generating a proper signal and the controller is receiving accurate position feedback. If the pattern is not rotating properly or is erratic, you may have an encoder or wiring issue. To exit the encoder test mode, simply press reset once. The controller will then reinitialize itself by finding the closed position and verifying the total stroke count. Next, let's talk about performing a motor ohms test. To test the motor, first remove power from the operator, locate the motor harness and unplug it from the controller. Identify the motor leads. On this Horton operator, the motor leads are the red and black wires. Set your meter to resistance and measure across the motor leads. A healthy motor should typically read around 20 ohms. However, don't stop there. Manually slide the door a few inches, stop, and take another reading. Continue moving the door and testing several different positions around the motor commutator. The goal is to identify any dead spots or damaged sections within the motor. I recommend checking at least 6 to 8 different positions. Some fluctuation is normal. Generally speaking, readings between 15 and 20 ohms indicate a healthy motor. Now let's move on to testing the power supply and fuses. Locate the power supply board and identify the incoming line voltage connection. You'll also see 3 primary fuses on the board. The F1 fuse is the main line voltage protection fuse. The F2 fuse protects the motor circuit. If the motor shorts out or the door becomes mechanically bound, the F2 fuse may blow. The F3 fuse protects the control circuit and controller electronics. To test power supply output, unplug the 5-pin harness that runs from the power supply to the controller. Before proceeding, use caution because high DC voltage may be present. Set your meter to DC volts and test between the white and brown wires. You should typically see between 100 and 130 volts DC. Most systems will read around 127 volts DC. If that voltage is missing, the F2 fuse is often the first thing to check. Next, test between the red and black wires on the same harness. You should see approximately 27 to 36 volts DC. Most systems will be around 33 to 34 volts DC. If that voltage is not present, inspect the F3 fuse. Now let's discuss proper encoder and microswitch connections. On the Horton C2150 controller, you'll notice 2 4-pin connectors located side by side. One connector is labeled USW, which stands for microswitch input. The other connector is labeled ENC, which stands for encoder. If you're working on a linear drive Horton operator that uses microswitches, connect the harness to the USW connector. If you're working on a belt drive Horton operator that uses an encoder, connect the harness to the ENC connector. This is extremely important. Connecting the harness to the wrong connector can damage the controller and lead to expensive repairs. Finally, let's talk about troubleshooting the NS error code. NS stands for no switch. This error typically indicates that the closed monitor switch is missing, disconnected, defective, or not being detected by the controller. Start by inspecting all micro switches and the micro switch harness. Make sure every switch is connected properly and that no connectors have come unplugged. Next, use your meter to perform a continuity test on each micro switch. Check both the normally open and normally closed contacts to verify proper operation. You'll also want to test the wiring harness itself. Perform continuity tests from one end of each wire to the other to ensure there are no breaks, damaged conductors, or loose connections. Every wire should show continuity from end to end. Using these simple troubleshooting procedures can help you quickly diagnose encoder failures, motor problems, power supply issues, blown fuses, wiring faults, and micro switch failures on Horton automatic sliding doors. If you need replacement Horton automatic door parts, controls, motors, encoders, sensors, or accessories, visit www.autodoorandhardware.com. For all automatic door parts and technical support, visit www.autodoorandhardware.com or give us a call at 8774-123-667. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more automatic door repair and troubleshooting videos.